My beloved brothers and sisters, sometimes Allah holds you back from love, not to deprive you, but to protect you. You look at your life and wonder, why am I still alone? Why hasn't anything worked out for me? But what you see as a delay may actually be Allah's greatest mercy. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us that Allah shields his servants from what isn't good for them, even if they desire it. Maybe Allah is saving you from heartbreak. Maybe he is shaping your character, healing your wounds, or preparing your soul for someone who matches the goodness he wants for you. And sometimes Allah keeps you single because he wants you to discover a love far greater than any human could give, the love of the one who never leaves. Your waiting is not wasted. It is written, it is intentional, it is full of wisdom. Allah protects you from what your heart cannot see. When Allah delays a relationship, it is never without purpose. Sometimes your heart cries for something that would have destroyed your peace, your self-worth, or your connection with Allah, but you cannot see it. Allah in his infinite wisdom shields you from what you think you want because he knows what it would do to your soul. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us that Allah protects a believer from harm. Even when the believer doesn't, Allah protects you from what your heart cannot see. Understand the reason. So when Allah blocks a person from entering your life, it is not rejection. It is divine protection. There are people who look perfect from a distance but carry storms you are not meant to endure. Their hearts, their intentions, their habits, or their future parts may not align with yours. Allah removes them before they ever reach you because he knows that one wrong person can delay your destiny, weaken your worship, or damage your emotional well-being in ways you can't imagine. What feels like loneliness to you is Allah saving you from a heartbreak you could not have survived. Sometimes Allah protects you by showing you someone's true colors early through distance, silence, confusion, or sudden changes. You take it personally, but Allah is telling you this is not your person. The pain you feel now is far lighter than the pain he is rescuing you from later. Trust his signs even when they hurt. Allah's no is often more merciful than his yes. Allah also protects you from relationships that would have pulled you away from your purpose. Not everyone you desire is meant to walk with you into the future. Allah has written, some people would distract you, drain you, or mislead you. Others would make you compromise parts of your faith just to keep them. So Allah removes them not because you are unworthy of love, but because your soul is too precious to be given to the wrong hands. Sometimes Allah protects you by delaying marriage until your heart is healed enough to receive love in a healthy way. If you entered a relationship while carrying unhealed wounds, insecurities, or trauma, you might project pain onto an innocent heart. Allah delays love to strengthen your season of growth must come before your season of love you to soften you, to purify you, so that when you finally meet the right person, you can love them without harming them. The delay is not punishment, it's preparation for a love that lasts. Allah also protects you from people who would take advantage of your kindness. You have a soft heart, a gentle soul, and you love deeply. Not everyone deserves that. Some would misuse it, some would manipulate it, and some would break it without remorse. So when Allah keeps you hidden, alone, or distant, it's his way of saying your heart is valuable and I am guarding it. Sometimes the protection comes through confusion. When someone enters your life but nothing feels stable, they come close then disappear. They talk but never commit. They show interest but never effort. You wonder why things don't progress, but Allah is protecting you from getting attached to someone who was never written for you. Temporary people are kept temporary by divine command. Allah also protects you from timing that would harm you. If you married too early, you might not have been emotionally mature enough. If you married while struggling spiritually, you might have built your future on unstable foundations. If you married during a chaotic period of your life, the relationship might have collapsed under pressure. So Allah delays marriage until the time you are ready, even if you think you already are. Sometimes protection looks like loneliness, but it's really Allah clearing the path. You think you're alone because you're unwanted, but Allah is actually removing distractions, obstacles, and wrong people to prepare your heart for someone better. The emptiness you feel is not what is written, for you will arrive without forcing anything void. It is space being created for what's written. Allah protects you from people whose destiny does not match yours. You could fall in love with someone who is not meant to walk the same spiritual path. Raise a family with the same values or build a life with the same purpose. Mismatched souls create long-term pain, so Allah out of mercy separates you from them even if your heart resists at first. Sometimes Allah protects you from your own desires. You may desperately want someone thinking they will complete your life, but Allah sees their private character, their hidden struggles, their unseen flaws. You see the surface, Allah sees the soul. What you call rejection is actually Allah whispering, "My servant, trust me." This is not for you. Allah also protects you by rewriting your plans. You had expectations, dreams, and timelines, but Allah's timing is superior to your planning. If He allowed you to marry too soon, you might have settled for less, accepted someone harmful, or limited your future growth. His delay is a form of rearranging your destiny so that everything aligns at the perfect moment. Sometimes Allah protects you because the person you want is not ready yet. They may still be healing, learning, or growing. If you met them too early, the relationship would collapse because one heart was prepared and the other was not. So Allah waits until both souls are synchronized until the story can unfold beautifully. Allah protects you by teaching you self-worth before marriage. If you entered the relationship without knowing your value, you might accept disrespect, tolerate neglect, or remain where you are not appreciated. Allah delays love to teach you how to stand, how to respect yourself, how to build confidence so that when you finally meet your partner, you approach the relationship with dignity. Sometimes protection comes through unanswered du'as. You begged Allah to make someone yours, but He didn't. Not because He ignored you, but because He loved you too much to give. Solitude is where Allah heals what you hid from everyone. You, the wrong person. The du'a wasn't denied, it was redirected to something better. What you wanted wasn't aligned with what you needed. Allah protects you by removing you from situations you don't have the strength to walk away from. You think you're being abandoned, but He is pulling you out of a fire you didn't even realize you were in. When people leave suddenly, when connections break unexpectedly, that is Allah intervening in ways you didn't pray for but still needed. Allah even protects you through disappointment. Every failed talking stage, every broken proposal, every silent ending is a mercy. You didn't lose anything, you were saved. Heartbreak often looks like destruction, but spiritually it is construction. It clears illusions, sharpens faith, and points you back to Allah. Sometimes Allah protects you from a marriage that would destroy your peace. No companionship is worth losing yourself or losing Allah. If someone was not written to honor your heart, your deen, and your future, Allah removes them. Even if you were ready to stay, that removal hurts, but it heals later. Allah protects you by giving you time to grow into the person your future spouse needs. Perhaps your character needed refinement, your patience needed strengthening, or your faith needed deepening. Allah delays marriage so you can become a source of tranquility rather than a source of struggle. And finally, Allah protects you because He loves you. He sees your tears, your loneliness, your late-night du'as. He knows the kind of love your heart is searching for, and He knows exactly when to send it. What is written for you cannot miss you, and what misses you was never yours to begin with. Your waiting is not a punishment. It is protection, preparation, and divine love in its purest form. Your season of growth must come before your season of love. Your heart cannot receive the right person until it becomes the right home for them. Allah sometimes places you in the one meant for you will fit the version. Allah is shaping you into season of solitude, reflection, and inner work because He knows that love without growth becomes a burden instead of a blessing. Before Allah sends you a spouse who is calm, mature, faithful, and sincere, He prepares you to match that level. You cannot skip this season. Growth is not punishment. It's protection for the love that will come later. Many people want marriage, but they are not ready for what marriage demands. It requires patience when you feel frustrated, compassion when you feel tired, maturity when you feel emotional, and faith when you feel lost. If Allah gave you love before preparing you, that love could break you. So He strengthens your heart now so you can handle the blessings later. Every delay is building your emotional and spiritual muscles. Your season of growth teaches you how to love without losing yourself. Many enter relationships from a place of emptiness, hoping someone else will fill the void, but Allah wants you to enter marriage whole, not wounded. He wants you to love from abundance, not desperation. He heals your heart in solitude so that when you meet your partner, you don't bleed your past all over your future. Healing is part of preparation. Growth teaches you boundaries, knowing when to walk away, when to stay, and when to protect your peace. If you don't develop these before marriage, the relationship may drain you. Allah teaches you these lessons in seasons of loneliness, disappointment, and self-reflection. Every person who left helped you build a boundary. Every heartbreak taught you restraint. Every silence taught you patience. Your season outgrow. Trust Allah's timing of growth exposes your weaknesses so you can transform them. Maybe your temper needs softening. Maybe your insecurities need healing. Maybe your impatience needs slowing. Marriage magnifies what's inside you, both light and darkness. So Allah perfects your inner character first. He wants your future spouse to meet a healed, humbled, and grounded version of you, not the one still fighting old battles. Growth also teaches you independence, not emotional coldness, but emotional stability. Allah wants you to depend on Him first, so you don't enter marriage relying on a human to fill His place. When you learn to stand alone with Allah, you stop clinging to people out of fear. You enter love with balance, not neediness. That balance is the foundation of a healthy marriage. Your season of growth teaches you patience, the kind that sustains love during difficult days. Anyone can love during good times. It takes real maturity to love during storms. Allah builds this patience in your single years by giving you tests that stretch you, slow you, and humble you. Every test is preparing you to one day be someone's comfort instead of someone's chaos. Growth deepens your relationship with Allah, and that relationship becomes the compass for marriage. When you learn to turn to Allah before anyone else, you will enter marriage with clarity, not confusion. You'll know when to speak, when to stay silent, when to forgive, and when to seek help. A heart trained by Allah loves with wisdom, not impulse. Sometimes Allah delays your season of love because your future spouse is still growing too. You may be ready, but they are not. Their heart may still be healing, their faith still strengthening, their character still developing. Allah aligns your timelines perfectly, not too early, not too late, so that when you finally meet, both hearts recognize each other effortlessly. Growth teaches you the difference between desire and destiny. Not everyone you want is good for your soul. Allah uses time to show you what your heart truly needs instead of what it temporarily craves. With growth comes clarity. You stop choosing people out of loneliness and start choosing them with wisdom. And wisdom is what protects love from becoming a mistake. Your season of growth teaches you emotional intelligence, understanding your feelings instead of being controlled by them. You learn how to communicate with kindness, express your needs without anger, and listen without ego. These skills are not learned in marriage. They are learned before marriage. Allah trains you through friendships, trials, and solitude so that you enter marriage with emotional maturity. Growth teaches you gratitude for yourself, for your journey, and eventually for your partner. When Allah makes you wait, you appreciate the blessing more deeply when it arrives. You no longer take love for granted. You see it as a gift from Allah, not something you are entitled to. Gratitude makes relationships gentle, loving, and long-lasting. Your season of growth clarifies your values. You learn what matters, character over looks, peace over excitement, deen over desire. Without this clarity, you might have chosen quickly and suffered quietly. Allah slows your journey so you can recognize the difference between temporary attraction and lifelong compatibility. And sometimes growth requires isolation, not because Allah is punishing you, but because He is removing noise from your life. In silence, you can hear your heart clearly. In solitude, you can hear Allah clearly. This clarity is crucial before you choose someone to share your life with. A distracted heart cannot make sacred decisions. Growth teaches you discipline in your habits, in your prayers, in your intentions. A strong marriage isn't built on emotion. It's built on discipline and consistency. Allah gives you this training now while you are single so you can maintain it later when you are partnered. Your season of growth teaches you self-worth. Before Allah sends you someone who will honor and respect you, He teaches you to honor and respect yourself. Without this, you might settle for someone who doesn't value your heart. When you finally know your worth, you stop accepting less. Growth elevates your standards not in a material sense, but in a spiritual and emotional sense. You start seeking someone who brings you closer to Allah, not someone who distracts you from Him. Allah refines your heart so you can choose with wisdom, not with loneliness. Growth teaches you to let go of past versions of yourself, past wounds, past people. You cannot hold on to old pain and expect new love to flourish. Allah cleans your heart before He fills it. This release is part of your preparation. Growth trains you for partnership. How to share, how to forgive, how to compromise, how to be patient. These skills are cultivated slowly through life's lessons. Without them, love becomes harder than it needs to be. Allah ensures you do not enter that blessing unprepared. And finally, your season of growth is a sign that Allah is not delaying you. He is preparing you. He is shaping you into someone capable of receiving, protecting, and nurturing the love He has written for you. When growth is complete, love will come naturally, beautifully, and effortlessly exactly at the moment Allah knows your heart is ready. What is written for you will arrive without forcing anything. When Allah writes something for you, it doesn't require chasing, begging, or forcing. It arrives with dignity, ease, and timing that feels divinely orchestrated. Many hearts break not because Allah denied them something, but because they tried to force what was never written. Destiny does not bend to desire, it bends to wisdom. And when you finally surrender your timeline to Allah, your heart discovers a peace the world cannot imitate. When something is meant for you, Allah softens hearts, aligns circumstances, and clears pathways that once felt impossible. You don't need to convince someone to stay, change, or choose you. Allah takes care of that part. What is written will never require humiliation. It will never require you to compromise your worth. It comes in a way that honors your dignity and protects your heart. Forcing love is a sign of not trusting Allah's plan. You cling to people thinking you can keep them, but the truth is simple. If they were written for you, you couldn't escape them. If they weren't, you couldn't hold them even with both hands. Allah's decree is gentle but firm. What is not yours is removed no matter how tightly you grip, and what is yours remains no matter how far it seems. Sometimes Allah delays what is written for you, so you don't attach to the wrong things out of loneliness. People often choose from emptiness instead of clarity. So Allah slows your steps until your decisions come from strength, not desperation. That delay is not denial. It is divine protection from yourself and your fears. What is written for you does not confuse you. It does not send mixed signals. It doesn't appear only to disappear. Allah does not write your future in instability. If someone leaves you unsure, anxious, or constantly doubting, that's a sign the pen of destiny has not written your names together. When Allah writes for two souls to meet, He writes serenity between them. Trying to force a connection that isn't meant for you only brings exhaustion. You give more, you try harder, you bend until you break, but destiny remains unmoved. Allah teaches you through this. Love cannot be achieved through effort alone. True love is a mercy, not a mission. A blessing, not a battle. It flows when the time is right and ends when Allah wills it. When Allah writes a person for you, He aligns your journeys in ways you could not plan. Maybe you meet unexpectedly. Maybe your paths cross repeatedly. Maybe your hearts find comfort instantly. You will see signs, ease, clarity, and calm. The relationship will feel guided, not forced. Allah arranges meetings with His wisdom, not your effort. Sometimes what is written for you feels delayed because Allah is preparing both hearts separately. Your spouse may still be healing, growing, or learning lessons that will protect your future marriage. If Allah gave them to you too soon, the relationship would collapse under incompleteness. So He perfects each soul in private before uniting them in public. What is written for you equips you spiritually. Allah strengthens your patience, deepens your faith, and widens your heart so you can handle the gift when it arrives. Without this preparation, you might sabotage what Allah gives you. Growth is His way of ensuring you don't lose what you prayed for. When Allah decrees someone for your life, He removes barriers that once felt impossible. Locked doors begin to open. Hearts that were once guarded become soft. People who never noticed you begin to see you. Circumstances shift effortlessly. This ease is a sign that destiny is unfolding. Not being forced, often Allah removes what is not written for you, so your hands are free to receive what is. You cry over what left, but Allah knows the heart you cried for could not walk with you into the future. Separation is painful, but sometimes it's the only way Allah makes space in your life for what belongs there. If you have to constantly push, chase, convince, or hold together a relationship, understand this. Destiny does not need your struggle, only your trust. What is meant for you will want you. It will choose you. It will stay with you, not because of effort, but because Allah has written it. So sometimes heartbreak itself is the sign that something better is coming. Pain clears illusions. Loss redirects your path. Brokenness softens your heart for the blessing Allah has prepared. What you thought you wanted was only a stepping stone to what is truly yours. Destiny does not destroy without rebuilding stronger. What is written for you teaches you patience more than anything else. Allah makes you wait, so you learn to detach from hurry, fear, and desperation. Waiting purifies your intention. It shifts your heart from wanting someone to wanting the right one. In this transformation, you learn that Allah's timing is always superior to your own. When Allah writes love for you, it will enter your life in a way that feels wholesome. It will bring peace, not anxiety. It will strengthen your faith, not weaken your heart. It will uplift you spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. This type of love is a sign from Allah that it is written and blessed. You don't need to chase what chases someone else. You don't need to fight for compatibility. When Allah decrees a partner for you, both hearts incline toward each other naturally. There is no resistance. Only readiness, no chaos, only clarity. This is the mark of something written. It fits where it lands. People often lose themselves trying to force a future with someone who was only meant to be a lesson. Allah sends lessons to shape you, not to stay with you. Once you learn, He removes them gently. The separation hurts, but it frees you. Destiny guides your heart away from temporary attachments and toward permanent blessings. Your soulmate, the one Allah has written for you, will come at the moment you least expect it. When your heart is calm, when your life is stable, or when your faith is deepening, Allah's timing is calculated. Too early would overwhelm you. Too late would discourage you. Allah chooses the moment with precision. The right person will choose you in ways the wrong person never could. They will bring consistency, not confusion, pursuit, not hesitation, commitment, not excuses. When it's written, it flows. When it's not, it fights. The heart knows the difference. Allah places tranquility between the souls. He unites. What is written for you will respect your boundaries. It will honor your deen, protect your heart, and elevate your character. Anything that makes you compromise your values or lose your peace is not written. It's a test. Allah removes it to save you from long-term suffering. Destiny always protects the believer. Sometimes Allah keeps you single to save you from attaching to someone whose future does not align with yours. You see the present, Allah sees the next 20 years. He knows whose heart will nourish yours and whose heart will harm it. Trust His vision. Even when you don't understand His decisions, your destiny will never compete with someone else's. You may see others marrying earlier, finding love faster, or achieving milestone after milestone, but that does not delay your story. Allah is not limited in His blessings. Your time will come in a way that reflects your journey, not theirs. Forcing. Love blocks what Allah wants to give you. When you stop forcing, you start receiving. Allah replaces desperation with serenity, attachment with clarity, confusion with purpose. When you let go of what you chased, Allah sends what is yours, and what is yours never slips away. Allah writes your love story with wisdom, not haste. A rushed heart is vulnerable to mistakes. A patient heart is prepared for blessings. Your waiting season is not empty. It is shaping you into the person who will sustain the relationship Allah has chosen for you. What's written for you will feel different. It will feel safe, guided, and spiritually grounding. It will feel like home, not because it's perfect, but because Allah placed barakah in it. Even during arguments or difficulties, you will feel protected, not abandoned. Allah's writing comes with divine softness. The beauty of destiny is that it doesn't need your stress, your worry, or your sleepless nights. Allah only asks for your trust. Trust that what's meant for you is moving toward you even when you can't see it. Trust that your prayers are shaping your future. Trust that Allah's timing is not delay, it's perfection. What is written for you will never bring shame or humiliation. It will not make you beg for importance or attention. It will arrive with respect and sincerity. The love Allah writes for you is honorable, dignified, and rooted in faith. Anything less is a distraction, not a destiny. Sometimes you are kept single because you are still discovering who you truly are. Without self-awareness, you might choose someone who fits your wounds, not your worth. Allah lets you grow into your full self, so that when love arrives, it meets the strongest, clearest, and most faithful version of you. When you stop forcing, you start flowing. You begin to trust the signs Allah shows you, the doors He closes, and the people He removes. You realize that every loss was a divine correction, and every delay was divine preparation. Destiny tastes sweeter when you stop trying to cook it yourself. What is written for you will always return to you. Even if it feels far, even if it seems impossible, even if the world says otherwise, Allah brings it back at the perfect time. No distance, no silence, no separation can break what Allah has tied. Hearts written for each other always find their way back. Your soulmate, the one Allah has written, will feel easy to talk to, easy to trust, easy to love. Not because relationships have no challenges, but because Allah places mercy between the two hearts. That mercy is a sign, this is written, and finally, what is written for you will not pass you by, not by accident, not by timing, not by someone else taking your place. Allah's decree is unshakable. You don't need to chase force or fear. You simply need to trust, because what is written for you is moving toward you, and nothing in this dunya can stop what Allah has destined to reach your heart. Solitude is where Allah heals what you hid from everyone. In solitude, Allah exposes the wounds you've been carrying for years. Wounds you hid behind smiles, routines, and distractions. When the world grows quiet, your heart finally speaks, and Allah begins to heal what you never had the courage to face. You may think loneliness is a punishment, but it is often the operating room where Allah performs the deepest spiritual surgery. No audience, no noise, just you, your pain, and His mercy wrapping around it. Solitude reveals truths you once buried. It shows you the parts of yourself you numbed, ignored, or underestimated. Allah removes people to remove distractions, so you can finally confront the unresolved pain sitting at the center of your soul. Healing begins when you stop running and sit with your wounds long enough for Allah to touch them gently. When you are alone, Allah brings back memories not to hurt you, but to heal you. He shows you the moments you avoided, the heartbreaks you suppressed, and the regrets you never admitted. Not to overwhelm you, but to purify you. You cannot heal what you keep pretending does not exist. Solitude forces you to face what you once fled. Sometimes Allah isolates you because He knows the world's noise is drowning the whispers of your heart. In silence, you realize how exhausted you've been pretending you're fine. You discover how much strength you've wasted keeping up appearances, and you finally allow yourself to cry not in front of people, but before Allah, where healing is real. In solitude, Allah softens your heart. He removes layers of anger, resentment, insecurity, and fear. You start seeing your pain with new eyes. Not as a curse, but as a doorway to transformation. The moments that once broke you become the moments that teach you who you truly are. Solitude doesn't empty you. It reveals you when you withdraw from people. You withdraw from their expectations. You finally stop performing. You stop living for approval. You stop chasing noise. In that quiet space, you give yourself permission to breathe, to think, to rest, to rediscover the parts of yourself you abandoned while trying to hold others together. That is where healing begins. Allah sometimes isolates you to protect you from further heartbreak. Your heart may be too fragile, too raw, too tired to handle more noise. He places you in solitude like a seed in the soil, buried, unseen, but safe. People may think you're alone, but Allah knows you're being replanted, not discarded. Solitude strips away illusions. You stop romanticizing people who hurt you. You stop chasing validation. You stop confusing attachment with love. In silence, your heart finally sees what your emotions used to blur. Allah doesn't let you stay blind. He shows you the truth so He can redirect your heart toward what is good for you. Healing in solitude is slow but transformative. Some days you will feel strong, other days broken. Some days you will feel hopeful, other days lost. But through every wave, Allah is refining your soul layer by layer, pain by pain, until your heart becomes soft enough to receive His mercy fully. Sometimes Allah allows you to feel loneliness, so you learn that people cannot fill the spaces meant for Him. You realize that human love is beautiful but limited, and your deepest wounds cannot be healed by a person. They can only be healed by the one who created your heart in the first place. In solitude, Allah teaches you self-awareness. You begin to recognize patterns, the way you love, the way you fear, the way you attach, the way you forgive too quickly or hold on too tightly. You start understanding why certain things hurt you and why certain people drained you. Awareness is the beginning of emotional maturity. Solitude is where you learn emotional independence, not the cold, detached kind, but the peaceful kind. The type that allows you to love without losing yourself, to give without emptying yourself, and to stand without collapsing. Allah teaches you that your worth was never tied to who stayed or who left. When you're alone, Allah reshapes your heart. He removes bitterness and replaces it with acceptance. He removes fear and replaces it with trust. He removes confusion and replaces it with clarity. Day by day, you feel yourself becoming lighter, calmer, and closer to your true self, the self Allah always intended you to be. Solitude is a mirror. It shows you who you were, who you became, and who you are meant to grow into. It is in the sacred quiet that Allah guides you to self-reflection that people could never inspire. You start hearing your inner voice again, the one you silenced for years in solitude. Allah heals the trauma you thought you had made peace with. He brings it back to the surface, not to torment you, but to release you. Pain resurfaces not to break you again, but to leave your body once and for all. Healing often looks like hurting before it looks like peace. Solitude teaches you that closure doesn't come from people. It comes from acceptance. Allah gives you the strength to detach from what harmed you. Forgive what hurt you and move forward without needing apologies that may never arrive. That is emotional liberation. Sometimes Allah isolates you to strengthen your spiritual core. He teaches you reliance, resilience, and inner peace. He pulls you away from people, so you stop depending on them and start depending on Him. You learn that the type of strength Allah builds in solitude cannot be shaken by any human disappointment. In solitude, Allah detoxes your soul. Your mind becomes clearer. Your heart becomes lighter. Your intentions become purer. You slowly break attachments that once felt unbreakable. You stop craving the attention that kept you spiritually starved. You release what once controlled you. Healing requires space, and Allah gives you that space. He separates you from certain people, places, and patterns so you can breathe again, so you can grow again, so you can become someone who enters the next chapter with wisdom, not wounds. Solitude is not emptiness, it is preparation. Allah removes you from the noise because your next chapter requires clarity. He pulls you into silence because your future blessings require a healed heart. He isolates you because your destiny is too big to build in crowds. In solitude, you learn patience, real patience, not the forced kind, but the peaceful kind. You learn to wait without anxiety, to trust without evidence, and to hope without seeing the end. That type of patience only grows in silence with Allah. Sometimes the healing is invisible. You won't feel it happening, but one day you'll wake up and realize the wounds don't sting, the memories don't hurt, and the person who broke you no longer controls you. Healing happens quietly like dawn. During solitude, Allah teaches you that happiness is not found in others. It begins within you. You learn to love your own company, to find joy in small things, and to appreciate the peace that comes from stillness. You grow from needing people to choosing them. Solitude helps you rebuild boundaries. You start saying no without guilt, setting limits without fear, and protecting your heart without apology. Allah teaches you that guarding your peace is a form of gratitude. In solitude, Allah reveals the people who truly matter. Some will check on you, some will disappear, some will silence you, some will support you quietly. Solitude filters your circle in ways you never could. You begin to realize that your worth was never tied to being chosen by people. Your worth comes from being chosen by Allah. Solitude reinforces that truth until it sinks into your bones. Sometimes Allah isolates you because He is preparing you for a relationship, a future, a blessing that requires emotional wholeness. He heals you privately so you don't bleed on the blessing He plans to send. Solitude is divine training. In solitude, Allah repairs your heart so that your next love is healthy, not desperate. He removes the baggage that would have damaged your future marriage. He builds you into a partner who loves with clarity and not with wounds. Solitude transforms your connection with Allah. You begin to speak to Him more, cry to Him more, seek Him more. And in that intimacy, you realize that Allah is the only one who has truly understood every version of you, broken or whole. As you heal, you begin to see your past not as a series of punishments, but as a series of lessons. Solitude gives you the distance you need to understand your story from a higher perspective, Allah's perspective. In solitude, Allah humbles you without humiliating you. He breaks you gently only to rebuild you beautifully. He removes what harms you even when you think you want it. Everything He takes in solitude is replaced with something better in the next chapter. You learn that healing is not linear. Some days you feel whole, some days you feel broken again, but Allah measures your effort, not your perfection. Every day you keep trying, He keeps healing. Solitude teaches you surrender, the kind that brings peace. You stop fighting what Allah has written. You stop questioning every closed door. You begin to trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. And finally, solitude is where Allah rewrites your heart. It's where He turns pain into wisdom, heartbreak into strength, loneliness into clarity, and silence into divine intimacy. What you thought was isolation was actually Allah healing you, preparing you, and transforming you into someone worthy of the blessings that are coming. The one meant for you will fit the version Allah is shaping you into. When Allah withholds a person from your life, it's not because you are unworthy. It's because the version of you right now is still growing into the person who can receive the love He has written for you. The right person will not fit the old version of you, the wounded version of you, or the unhealed version of you. They will fit the version Allah is slowly shaping through every trial and every moment of solitude. He is preparing your heart for someone who matches your future, not your past. Allah never pairs souls randomly. He pairs them with precision. He knows your strengths, your weaknesses, your habits, your wounds, and your future tests. The one He chooses for you will complement the gaps, soothe the wounds, and strengthen what is fragile. But for that person to fit, Allah must first shape you emotionally, spiritually, and mentally into the version that can walk beside them with harmony, not chaos. Sometimes the reason relationships fail is because you meet someone at the wrong stage of your life. You meet before healing, before growth, before clarity. So Allah removes them not to punish you, but to protect the love that will one day be yours. When the right person comes, they will not be intimidated by your strength or overwhelmed by your softness. They will be balanced by it. Your journey is shaping your patience, and the one written for you will fit that patience. They will arrive at a time when you no longer cling out of fear, but connect out of faith. Your growth is not only for you. It is for the relationship Allah is preparing. Two hearts that are still healing cannot build a peaceful home. So Allah heals each heart separately before uniting them. The right person will fit the healed version of you, not the version that tolerated pain quietly. Allah teaches you boundaries so the right person will honor them, not cross them. He teaches you self-worth so the right person will match your dignity, not diminish it. He teaches you emotional balance so love becomes calm, not chaotic. Every heartbreak you survived is shaping you into someone healthier, wiser, and more mature. And the one written for you will fit that maturity. They will communicate with clarity, not confusion. They will bring effort, not excuses. They will show consistency, not inconsistency. Allah is shaping you so you can recognize genuine love when you finally see it. Allah is shaping your character because your future spouse will need a certain type of strength from you. Patience during their weaknesses, gentleness during their struggles, mercy during their mistakes. Marriage is not two perfect people meeting. It is two growing souls aligning at the right spiritual frequency. Sometimes Allah delays marriage because He is shaping your faith. The one written for you will walk beside you on the path to Jannah. They will support your prayer, not distract you from it. They will guard your deen, not weaken it. For this pairing to work, your own relationship with Allah must be strong enough to guide the home. You will build together. Your solitude is not accidental. It is shaping the softness you need for marriage. You are learning emotional intelligence, how to listen, how to forgive, how to understand what someone feels even when they can't express it. The one Allah wrote for you will fit this emotional capability perfectly. You will be the safe place they prayed for. Allah is shaping your resilience because your future spouse will need a partner who doesn't fall apart at the first storm. They will need someone with wisdom, not impulsiveness, someone with calmness, not panic, someone who sees challenges as tests, not threats. This resilience is being built quietly in your soul. The right person will fit your healed heart, not your hurting heart. Allah removes temporary people, so He can soften your heart again. So when He finally sends the one meant for you, you can love them without fear, without comparison, and without carrying the weight of past wounds into the new relationship. You are being shaped into someone more appreciative. The right person will fit your gratitude, not your desperation. You will love them from abundance, not emptiness. You will give from sincerity, not fear. Allah is teaching you to love in a way that elevates, not exhausts. Your future spouse will fit the version of you who learned self-respect, the one who no longer accepts half-love, mixed signals, or emotional immaturity. Allah is removing people who dishonored you so He can teach you what real honor feels like. Your spouse will match that level of respect effortlessly. Allah shapes you into someone who understands silence, patience, and reflection because the right spouse will appreciate these qualities. They will seek peace, not drama, understanding, not ego, partnership, not competition. You are becoming the calm. They will find comfort in every test you face is shaping your empathy. You are becoming someone who can understand pain deeply, who can support gently, and who can love mercifully. The one written for you will feel at home in your kindness because Allah is shaping their heart with similar tenderness. Allah shapes your mind because the right person will need a partner who thinks with clarity, not jealousy, not insecurity, not overthinking, but wisdom. Your growth is creating a mindset that can sustain long-term love rather than short-term emotion. Sometimes Allah shapes you by breaking you first, not to destroy you, but to remove pride, ego, impulsiveness, or traits that would harm your marriage. After the breaking comes rebuilding, and your spouse will meet the rebuilt version, not the broken one. Your spiritual journey is shaping your values, and the right person will share those values. You are learning the importance of character, humility, modesty, honesty, and faith. Allah aligns souls based on values, not appearances. That alignment is being crafted right now. Allah is shaping your communication skills so the right person will fit your new emotional language. You will speak with transparency, not emotional games with compassion, not anger with honesty, not fear. This growth becomes the foundation of your future home. Your waiting is shaping your patience because the one written for you is worth waiting for. Allah is teaching you to trust His timing because your spouse will arrive at the moment your heart is ready to honor them, not idolize them. Sometimes Allah is shaping you into a leader, someone who can guide their spouse with kindness, not control, or into a nurturer, someone who supports their spouse with grace, not pressure. Whatever your future marriage needs, Allah shapes that within you beforehand. Allah shapes your dependence, pulling you away from relying on people. So you rely on Him. This spiritual independence ensures that when your spouse arrives, you do not place divine expectations on human shoulders. Love becomes healthier because your heart already has its foundation in Allah. You are developing inner peace because the right person will fit that peace. They won't bring chaos. They will protect your tranquility. This calmness is being built through solitude, reflection, and hardship. Your emotional healing is shaping your ability to trust again. Allah knows that the right person will need a heart that is open, not guarded. So He heals your trust slowly, carefully, so it can be given again without fear. Sometimes Allah keeps you single because the version of you today is not compatible with the version of your future spouse today. But the version of you both in the future will fit perfectly. Destiny works on both sides. Allah shapes your intentions, teaching you to seek marriage for His sake, not society's pressure. When your intentions are pure, the spouse written for you arrives with purity as well. You are learning emotional clarity, the ability to distinguish between attraction, attachment, and genuine compatibility. Allah is shaping this awareness so you don't confuse temporary feelings with permanent destiny. Your growth is making you more selective, not out of arrogance, but out of wisdom. The right person will match this wisdom. They will not approach you casually, but with purpose and sincerity. Allah shapes your faith, so your marriage will be built on Deen. When you stand beside your spouse in prayer, gratitude, and hardship, your unity will be rooted in something deeper than emotions. You are becoming someone who can love without attachment, because attachment suffocates relationships while love frees them. Allah is shaping your heart to love in a way that brings barakah, not fear. Your healing is shaping your expectations, lowering them from perfection to sincerity, from fantasy to reality. The right spouse will not be perfect, but they will be perfect for your soul. Allah shapes your forgiveness so your marriage won't collapse under human flaws. You learn to let go gracefully, to communicate instead of shutting down, to understand instead of assuming. Sometimes Allah shapes you through losses because the one written for you will appreciate the depth those losses gave you. The pain you survived becomes the compassion you offer. Growth is making you more self-aware, and the right person will fit this awareness beautifully. You will meet them with understanding instead of projection, clarity instead of confusion. Allah is shaping your dreams and goals, aligning them with the future spouse who will support them. The right person will not compete with your purpose, they will amplify it. And finally, Allah is shaping your heart into a masterpiece. When the person written for you arrives, they will not fit the old version of you. They will fit the healed, mature, spiritually grounded, emotionally intelligent version Allah has been crafting all along. And when the two of you meet, you will understand why nothing worked before. Because Allah was waiting for you to become the version who could receive the love He always intended for you. My dear brothers and sisters, being single is not a sign that something is wrong with you. It is a sign that Allah is still writing your story with wisdom far deeper than your understanding. He knows what kind of heart you have, what kind of love you deserve, and what kind of person will protect your deen, your peace, and your future. So don't rush what Allah is arranging, don't chase what He has blocked, and don't think for a moment that your waiting is empty. Every tear, every night of loneliness, every quiet dua, Allah heard it all and He never delays without purpose. Your season will come when your heart, your character, and your destiny align with His plan. Until then, embrace this chapter. Use it to heal, to grow, to strengthen your connection with Allah, because the person written for you will arrive at the perfect time. Not too early, not too late, but exactly when Allah knows your heart is